This is what the whole channel is about. So the question everyone gets wrong: how much does it actually cost to buy and buy on top of the price? You'll hear 7 to 10%, and that's not accurate, and it matters which side of the market you're on. Buying off plan directly from the market, which is primary market, your transaction cost is obviously whatever the price of the property is plus 4%. That's the DLD fee. That's it. No agency commission because the developer pays it. Buying from an individual seller, secondary market, which is a resale, is about 6%, the 4% DLD plus 2% agency commission. So on a primary off-plan purchase, your real entry cost is far lower than people think. The first reason, and the smart capital is going off-plan with the right plan right now, is two structures experienced investors are using right now: the 40-60 and the 30-70 plan. 40-60 means 40% during construction, 60% on handover. 30-70 means 30% during construction, 70% on handover. Some cases 50-50 as well, depends on the developer and the project specifically. So with the 40-60 or 30-70 plan, you put in a modest amount during the build. Then at completion, you take a mortgage for the balance or you sell it. And this is the key. The bank values the property at completion on the real market value. Community comparables, build quality, and on these standard plans, you are paying the genuine market price. So the mortgage works clearly. You've used the construction period as an interest-free runway, then converted to a mortgage at the real price. Low cash in finance at completion, no premium buried in the price. That's very important. That's the play. So 1% plan, everybody keeps pushing. I'm not a big fan of them unless and until they're priced really well, which in most cases isn't. Nobody lends for free, so they bake the cost into the price and the premium runs 30 to 40% over the real value. When the building completes and you go for a mortgage, so the bank will value it on the community, not on what you've paid. If you've overpaid by 40% and the valuation comes below what you owe, you cover the gap in cash at completion. The 40-60 and 30-70 payment plan, you pay the real price and the finance at true value. Smart. The 1% plan, you pay an inflated price and get caught at the valuation. Expensive. Same market, two completely different outcomes. The plan you choose is the entire game. So validate data, stay anti-hype, and why now and not next year? Because of what's happening to construction costs right now, since the conflict began at the end of February, material costs in the UAE have spiked hard. Developers report an average 15% across materials, 12 to 18% across major categories such as reinforced steel is up around 50%. And since the end of last year, cement, electrical insulation, all up double digits. Diesel jumped 72% in April. One major developer reported the cost spike alone added over 100 million dirhams to their projects. So to keep sales moving while absorbing those costs, developers are competing on payment terms right now. One large developer just cut its down payment from 20% to 5%. That's the window developers are offering. Favorable terms while they absorb cost pressure. That won't last indefinitely. So you might think I'll just wait for construction costs to come down by next year and then buy cheaper. That's again a mistake. Even when and if the material costs come down, let's say 12 months down the line, and the conflict pressure could be temporary, developers will not reduce their prices. Why? Because once a developer sets a higher price per square foot in a community, that becomes the new benchmark. The next launch is priced against it. Construction cost is the justification developer use to raise prices. It is not a formula. They run it in reverse when the costs fail. No developer has ever cut prices because steel got cheaper. They keep the margin. So the cost spike might be temporary, but the price reset it creates is permanent. The pricing and terms available today are not coming back. Even after the conflict eases, waiting doesn't save you money. The benchmark moves up and stays up. The only thing waiting costs you is the favorable terms that exist right now. So the real cost of off-plan is lower than you've been told, 4% on primary, 6% on secondary. The smart plans that we are seeing right now, the 40-60, the 30-70, you pay the real price and finance at a true value at completion. The 1% plan is a trap at inflated prices, valuation gaps at handover, and the window is real because developers now are competing on terms, prices, while absorbing a genuine cost spike. even when the costs ease, the prices won't come down. So the question isn't how much money do I need? It's which plan, in which community, at what entry, and the window is open for how long. So DM me plan and I will tell you exactly what to look at this very moment. So hit the follow button so I can break down more myths about the Dubai real estate.